Hello and welcome back to Rory Games plays Order of Battle Blitzkrieg. We are on turn 3 of our invasion of Poland. We are heading toward the city of Mlawa here, a heavily fortified position that I have decided to envelop in a far-reaching pincer movement. As you can see here, I'm sending forces down the west side, as well as, actually, I guess in real life that would be the east side, as well as forces over here on the river, across this bridge, hopefully to envelop the city of Mlawa in a massive pincer move. All right, in addition to these forces, I have a small squad heading over here, attacking the city of Trezelli. I have an infantry gun and a couple of infantry squads, including an engineer unit. So move that squad around. I'm going to bring up the engineers so that they can start their flanking move. And I'm going to hit this garrison with another dose of artillery. Alright, so we caused a little damage, we reduced their efficiency. Let's go ahead and see what the combat values are. Still 2-to-1. Once I bring the engineers over to this hex here, I will have flanking ability. And in this game you get a flanking bonus. So I'm going to actually... Oh, that's tempting. 3-1. I'm going to hold off. As tempting as it is to make this attack now, and there is a slight possibility, since I am scheduled to inflict 3 points on them, and they're only going to inflict 1, there's a possibility I could push them out. But again, I think I can do better in a flanking maneuver here. So I'm going to hold off till the next turn. Alright, over here I've got my engineers set up on the bridge, so what I'm going to do is repair this crossing by building a pontoon. This requires 10 command points, but what it's going to do is it's going to open up this corridor to all future forces. Once I push these engineers across in this panzer division, set up a secure bridgehead, I'll be able to push my forces relatively unopposed, as you can see, across. So those guys are working on their bridge. I'm going to send the Pen P3 into this forest. Don't normally like sending my armored units through wooded terrain. However, it's critical I open up this bridgehead to multiple hexes. So in the event of a Polish counterattack, which I do expect, and in fact I'm waiting for it to happen and materialize, I will have the ability to fall back without losing supply, and I won't be easy to cut off. So that's my heavy infantry that I can move up in the next turn. This infantry squad, just chilling, setting up sandbags. I'm pull these guys up through here. I control shift them to here. So as you can see now, I've linked up this road, opened it all up to supply to my guys here. And let's see, that's about all I can do this turn. That's right, my Luftwaffe. I always forget my air forces. So let's do some more scouting. Let's hit the area here. Okay. So we've got a bunch of entrenched units here. I've got a 40mm Bofors anti-aircraft gun. Got a 75mm artillery piece. Got some which looks like heavy infantry. And regular infantry. So interestingly, I would have expected them to be entrenched through this forest wooded area. That would have made a great kind of defense of this soft area here. Of course, I probably would have been defending the bridge as well, and they're not. So we'll take it. So what I'm going to do is actually bring my Stuka and start hitting this engineer squad. Ooh, nice. So I inflicted 1 damage. So they're now down to 7. Potentially what I can do is push this infantry squad here And then in the next go, maybe bypass the town and attack these engineers and try to push them off that bridge before they blow it. Yeah, we'll see. Something tells me they're going to blow that bridge now, this turn. We'll see. All right, so that is all I can do this turn. Let's pass it over to the Polish and see what their response is. Okay, unfortunately that Bofors hit my 109, took 2 damage. Not cool. Not cool at all, man. So I'm going to fly him over here to escort my Stuka. I have a relatively good idea now of what's going on here. It looks like, at the very least, I've got these entrenched dudes here behind the forest. I still think there may be a unit or two hidden in the forest. It would be silly not to. Alright, so we've got that bridge set up, so now you can see I have much more freedom of movement. I'm going to pull these engineers up to the crossroads. Still no enemy opposition. I'm going to pull my P3 into the woods here. Okay, I see nothing. So far so good. That pincer move has been successful. Have a bridgehead established. And now I can push this heavy infantry through. Okay, believe now you can see I've captured all this territory, supplied myself all through these roads, so now I'm able to make a move across the river without fearing for my supply lines, which, as any general will tell you, is very important. Okay, I'm going to send this infantry squad on a multi-move up here, scout out this crossing, head into these dense woods if I can get in there, clear this entire province, I'm sorry, this peninsula here, and make my move over the river. Okay, so I'm going to move these engineers into flanking position. So now you can see that I have one infantry squad here, one here. When I attack, I get this blue plus value, and that's the flanking support. So as you can see, if I take this squad and attack, I'd inflict 2 damage and possibly would take 0, maybe 1 damage in return. If I sent my engineers around, they'd inflict more damage but also take more damage. Engineers are good at assaulting entrenched positions. Still was hoping for a slightly better value than that. Another option is I can bring this guy completely around and attack these engineers. I like that. I like that idea a lot. So I could lay down some artillery fire. Boom. Move my squad up. Before I attack, let's Stuka him. Move our Stuka over the city because I'm hoping that this attack works. And I'm able to push these engineers off. Ah, I am. Woohoo! So, because I caused them to retreat, I'm given this option to advance into the territory they previously held. I'm going to take that, effectively cutting off this garrison from its evacuation route. However, it's not without its own risk. The garrison could very easily evacuate into the woods that I've left open and cut me off, which is likely to happen. If I didn't have the support here from the engineers, I probably wouldn't make this move. Okay, so bridges in my hands, happy about that. Can still attack with my engineer group, however I've lost that flanking bonus. So the current attack value would be 3-2. I am not liking that at all. Coffee. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait. I'm going to hope that they stay hunkered down there and then bombard them with artillery and the Stuka before I attack next turn. What I'm thinking they're going to do, though, is evacuate the town through the forest right here, effectively cutting off my unit from supply. However, that will allow me to move this engineer squad into its place. Alright, enough speculating. Let's get on with the war, shall we? Alright, we are ready to go. Retreating and reinforcing. I like the retreating part. So, as you can see, I failed on my secondary objective of destroying a bunker, just like I thought. Do not really enjoy assaulting bunkers. And I probably won't even attack any of those bunkers until I have Mlawa completely surrounded. So I'm going to continue by pushing this Panzer II into the creek. Yeah. So this puts him at an incredibly vulnerable position, a creek crossing. He can take a lot of the damage if an enemy were to find him. But what I'm going to do is I think I can sneak across here behind these woods and then start to move up and connect with the infantry and establish a fairly decent bridgehead here. Not a bridgehead, truly just a crossing. Okay, let's see. So I would like to consolidate my gains here on this side. In order to do that, I'm going to pull the Panzer III up to here and send my infantry squad to clear this forest. That will open up this bridgehead quite a bit. Well, actually first, yeah, I'm going to do that. The other option here is to move them up here, connect the supply here, take all this territory. However, it really leaves me vulnerable through a counterattack through this corridor. So let's go clear that first. I know these engineers are retreating, but they were reinforced last turn, so they could very easily turn and attack. And at this point, they would be very successful in cutting off from supply. The nice thing is I have reinforcements coming, heavy infantry moving through. Strange, interesting. So I guess because of their zone of control here cut off my supply. That's cool, I like that. It's realistic. Because I had only one tile, one hex connecting them, and that hex was within their ZOC, it flipped back to their control over the turn. So a more conservative approach would have been to swing wider around the woods, eat up more of these hexes as supply, and then attack. However, I just, that's not aggressive enough. So you gotta take risks. So the reason I did this is that I'm still confident with my engineers back here. I can throw in a pretty good attack on this position here. Whew, alright, didn't go so well. So bombarded them with my 7.5, bombed them with my Stuka, and then sent the engineers in, and they still resisted. So let's see what would happen if I attacked here. So I'm not going to give up this bridge. I fought hard for it. It was a great tactical win. So as much as I'd like to retreat and resupply, I'm not going to. I'm going to attack. Okay, so that worked out all right. We've whittled them down now to 3 points. They can still reinforce, but at this point, I've definitely got the better of them. Captured that bridge intact, which is what I wanted to do, and I've got that engineer squad on the run. These guys are still stacking bags. Move this squad up, and I think that about ends it for this turn. I am getting close on my rec points to being able to purchase, I you know, I may hold out and pick up another tank. At 100 points, I'll pick up a P4. Fortunately, I don't have the command points yet to deploy it. Could go get a P2 now. I'm going to hold out and see if I can pick up a P4. The goal here is to research my next specialization to be infantry, so that when I purchase any future infantry squads, I will get a star of experience. And because I started this scenario with, 4 infantry squads already, I'm going to hold off on buying any more infantry, hoping I can make it through this scenario without purchasing any. Research that specialization, and then start stocking up on infantry beginning with my next scenario. So for now, I'm going to hold out for a P4. Hopefully I get reinforced with command points here soon. They did reinforce. Excellent. We've got more reserves. So what I'm going to do is, let's see, I'm going to continue this battle here for Trzelli. Hit him with some artillery. Okay, now that I've weakened him with artillery, I can send in my Stuka. Excellent. So that bombing run caused 2 damage. Awesome. Alright, let's send in the engineers. Let's hopefully push him out. Yep. Cool. So, Trzelli is now ours. So 109 on a strafing run. Unfortunately, that didn't work. So I have found, and I don't know if it's just the 109, the D version, but strafing runs are just not effective in this game. And overall, just generally speaking, it's very challenging to completely destroy units, especially air units. Alright, so these guys are going to get resupplied. What I can do is move them forward into this forest. Try to finish off this infantry next round. And let's see, I really need to expand this bridgehead. So, sorry, yeah, bridgehead. Real slowly have this infantry squad work its way all the way through this forest up to about here and clear it all. Start by clearing the road. Okay, I have officially begun my river crossing. That's exciting. Okay. So this squad's going to work its way through this forest, linking up supply back on the peninsula as I spoke to earlier, and then it will make its crossing probably in this forest here. Link up with the P2, and yeah, effectively have these guys behind enemy lines. Should be great. Alright, so let's do some buying, shall we? I think it was wise to wait for the Panzer IV. Much like the Panzer III, it's going to get upgraded throughout the war. The chassis is going to live till the very bitter end, or hopefully not bitter end. Unlike the Panzer III, which will actually get more or less phased out at the end of the war. The Panzer IV is going to be pretty effective for me for a long time coming, so I'm going to go ahead and just bite the bullet and buy it. Boom. Woo, doggy. Alright, purchase and deploy. Okay, I'm going to pull him right here so I can very quickly get him across this bridge and reinforce my bridgehead here. Okay, so I still have 4 command points for land forces and 7 for air forces. However, I only have 13 points, requisition points, so I don't think I'm able to buy anything at the moment. Let's look at artillery. Yeah, for the 10-5, I'm going to need at least, what is that, 130 to pick up the gun itself and the horse transport. That would be a smart next move at this point. But it could be a while until I have enough rec points. Okay. Okay, just expanding this bridgehead, clearing these guys, these hexes, bringing them over to the German side. And let's end our turn. Alright, Great Britain and France have declared war on Germany, honoring their pre-war agreement with Poland. But so far, the Western Allies remain mostly passive, giving only moral support to their Eastern ally. Ah, it won't be so bad, Poland. You can do it. Yeah, they're going to need more than moral support. So, back to what's going on here in Poland. As you can see, we've been spotted. It's not good. Let's get this guy across. Now, officially on the other banks. We'll start to work this infantry down through the peninsula. So, what this probably means is there's a counterattack coming. Hopefully I can get my infantry into the woods before it happens, shore up the supply lines, and maintain some sort of element of tactical surprise here. However, we are out of time, so you have to wait to the next episode to see exactly how we continue this pincer movement. So far, so good. I'm surprised there hasn't been any Polish counterattack. But we are more or less moving freely. All right, so until next time, I want to thank you so much. I appreciate you watching. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment, tell me what I'm doing wrong. Tell me how I can do it better. Thanks so much. Talk to you next time. Bye.